Hello again. This is an Amber Series 50B integrated amplifier and Model 7 tuner. This is another brand of products from the past that I really love. Amber Electronics originally was in Charlottesville, Virginia, and I believe the new owner is now in Australia. The thing that makes these kind of special, but also it's like a good and a bad thing, is the designer of this company, Amber Electronics, the designer worked with National Semiconductor, and they developed this power chip. It's an LM391N-100, and it basically drives the amplifier. Now there are still driver transistors, but pre-driver is basically here. It's really cool, and it's thermally tracking within this chip. So it's kind of a little bit of an interesting design. There's actually, let me go up here and take a look. There's no thermal tracking transistors on this heatsink. So it pretty much rides at a fixed bias, and that's the one thing that's crazy about these, is that there is no bias in this, on the 50B at least, there's no bias trim. It's fixed bias through a resistor. So pretty much they have it fixed at a pretty modest level. I think it was 20 or 40 millivolts, if I'm not mistaken. And anyway, I bought this thing from someone on Marketplace, and it was supposed to be working, but unfortunately it had a blown channel and a bunch of bad parts. In fact, I ended up basically just rebuilding it. I replaced all 4 output transistors, and here they are here. They're in there with on semi. And I also replaced the main filters. Figured, why not? At this point, I've already spent enough money on it, and upgraded the parts pretty much everywhere with the best that I could use. I was going to upgrade the drivers, but they're working and they're stable, so I just reheat synced them with new compound, and that was it. Oh, yeah, one of these chips was bad, but I have a few in my stash. Fortunately, I was able to get my hands on a couple of spares, and so I had enough. I had one to replace one in the dead channel, and that's it. It had the wrong fuses in it, but it's great. So what's so cool about this? Well, there's a certain purity of sound that these amplifiers have because of this chip. This chip was designed for high-end audio. If you look it up, look up this chip, you'll see it was a specific thing made just for high-end audio. They made it for a few years, and then I guess it never caught on, and then that was it. They stopped making it. So there really isn't that many of those chips around, but then there's also not that many devices that use them. So, there you go. But it's a pretty cool thing if you're crafty enough. You can download the data sheet for this, and you can build a pretty cool amp around this. And another thing that's great about this is because everything is integrated in this chip, the parts count for building, the amplifier module is pretty low. Just to build the board circuit around this is just a handful of resistors, just a couple of capacitors only, and your output transistors and whatnot. So it's not a lot to build a whole amp around this chip. But it's because of this chip that it has this purity. It's hard to describe it. I hear it clearly different. There's a difference in sound in these amplifiers than anything else that I'm used to hearing. And That's what I love about them, is this certain transparency. It's almost, that's the best way I could describe it. It's like a certain, it's very transparent. It's, you know, describing sound is like the craziest thing. But anyway, I got the cover for it. I just figured I'd keep it off while I was showing it. I guess I could show you a couple of things. There is adjustments to adjust the input gain, the phono capacitor right there, and with the dip switches. So that's one thing. And yeah, I mean, you could see it. They used pretty good parts. I mean, look around. I mean, obviously in the phono stage here, right? Polystyrene, you know, some nice, everything socketed too, which I really appreciate. Nice quality op amps, you know, nice Mylar caps that, you know, it's good stuff for the time. Really good relay here, which is surprising that it's still perfectly good condition. I'm trying to think of what else is in here that's good. Yeah, I mean, it's just another great little design. This and the, of course, their claim to fame really is their Series 70 power amplifier. But I always wanted one of these because they're rated about 50 watts per channel at 8 ohms. And then they claim it'll do like, you know, like 80 watts into 4 ohms. I know this thing can drive just about anything. That's another thing about, okay, it uses these. These things are crazy too. The 2N58, 84, and 86, right? And these things handle crazy amounts of current. I mean, in wattage, you know, it's wild. So you can really pretty much, whatever the power supply is able to deliver, these transistors will basically deliver it. You know, it's pretty much just at this point limited to what you can pull off the power supply. So I did upgrade the capacitors to give it a little bit more storage. It already had a lot of storage, but these caps went actually bad. 20,000 microfarad. They actually went bad, these, and that's rare. Almost never see these go bad. I mean, they get a little weird, like the measurement goes bad, like it gets you know, it's not performing like a new cap, but it's still usable, right? One of these was actually really leaky. So anyway, just thought I'd show that. You don't see these too often either, these ambers. This one's from 1984, 85, I believe. So, in fact, let me see. I think there's a date code right on this capacitor. Well, according to this capacitor, it's from 1981. Let's see if we can see any other dates. It used these, unfortunately, they used kind of like a crummy brand, at least as far as I know. I've always, anytime I've seen these are bad. The Summit brand. I don't see any dates on any of this other stuff. I'm looking for a date anywhere else on anything else, but I don't really see anything. I think this is from 1984 because I remember seeing something on the circuit board that dated it to 1984. So maybe they just started to design in 81. I don't know. Anyway, I've gone on long enough. The 50B, let's see. Do we have anything? Let's see here.